Hi everyone, it is Natalie from Being Intentionally Creative. Before we start today, I just want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. This is going to be my, obviously, last video before Christmas because of when I do my videos. And it will be my only video this week. I've decided to give myself a little bit of a break. So refresh, chill, enjoy the Christmas season, and then the week of the 30th, go back to 2 videos. What I decided to do is to sort of incorporate a couple of pieces and create a Christmas scene. I had mentioned a few videos back that I wanted to make something for Christmas. Of course, time is going very fast for me these days, and I didn't get anything done. However, having said that, I've been looking at a few different things and going, but I can still do this, and I still want to play, and I still want to experiment and see what I can do to sort of bring some pieces together and how they're going to look and what's going to happen with them. So I've got a lot of stuff on my table here. I'm going to be moving some of that off as we get going with this video. What we're going to start with, though, is the blue tree. You remember me making this? I've added some accents to it now, as you can see. Let's see, I should tip it up like this maybe. And we've got some flat back rhinestones on this. I have added a little bit of glitter to the star. I've added a little bit of glitter to the base of this. I'm not fussy on this, but that's okay. I thought it would look okay with the gold. I'm not fussy on it. You may like it. Again, that's where it comes into the playing and the experimenting when we do this. Now, I had wanted to put this on some sort of base. The ones I was thinking of are the small rectangle pieces I had, and I went, no, I don't like that idea. What am I going to do? I had this piece. Do you remember doing this? We did this, again, a few videos back. I thought, ooh, I could use this as the base. What I've done is I have sealed it with the Mix to Mold glossy sealer. I did 3 coats on it. I don't know if you can see that. It actually brought these pieces that are in this to life now. I have added a blue, it's not felt. I'm trying to think. This is foam to the back of this so it won't slide. So we've got, it adds a bit of height to it as well, which is totally cool. And I thought, perfect. This is big enough for this tree. I think anyway. I think it gives me room to play, putting it wherever. I don't know where it's going to go yet because I have this mold. I want to make this, and then I want to play with the pieces to see more so the house, but the reindeer as well. I had pulled out one of my small, and I'm pretty sure I made this in one of my videos as well. This guy, however, he's way too small. I mean, if I use this moose, reindeer, call it what you will, if I use it, let me just so you can get an idea of sizing. Like, it makes the trees just gigantic, and I appreciate that there's some really big trees out there, so this isn't so far-fetched. However, I don't think this guy's going to work for what I want. I mean, he's sort of decently sized for the flat piece, but for the tree, he just didn't, he wasn't working for me. There are 2 reindeer, moose, call them what you will, in this mold. So we're going to make the whole mold. And then we're going to see how we can, if we can, use those pieces along with our tree and how they look. I'm more sort of interested in the house, to be honest, than I am the deer. But we'll just sort of, we'll play. I had thought, if you remember my present mold, using some of these. The only one that would really kind of work is this one. And it may get too messy or too bulky if we try and put some presents in. So I'm not going to do anything with this. Or I figure I'm not going to do anything with this. It's more, what can we put with the tree on this stand? And how's it going to look? And is it going to fit dimensionally, if that makes any sense? Anyway, that's where we're going with this video. So I'm just going to put these guys off to the side because I don't need them right now. I wanted to mention I use the Recollections glitter glue to affix the flat back rhinestones. And what I like about this is the fact that it's a glitter, and then you can't, well, because of all the glitter on the tree. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see, but it's, you know, it adds just a little bit more glitter to my tree and holds them in place. You could use UV resin if you wanted. I would think you would have to pour it over top of, which is what I did with some of my ornaments, which reminds me I have something else to do with an ornament I've got over here. Anyway, I digress, but it made me think of, so I've been making these, I might as well show them to you. I've been making these with the Let's Resin glow-in-the-dark glitter. These are so sweet. If you've got that glitter, just put that in your resin. Don't add anything else, just that. These are so pretty. I made one in every color. And I've been putting a rhinestone in the middle of these as well. And oh my gosh, these are just so pretty. Wrong side. Put that back there because I need it over there. I'll just show you the other one quickly. There's the other one. Like, these things are so pretty, and they do glow. It's not a powerful in your face kind of glow, but they do glow. It is so pretty. So pretty. If you have it, try it. It's really cool. Anyway, what colors? I'll get to the colors in a second. I know. It's early morning as I'm taping this. I'm wide awake right now. Get me while I'm good. Okay. Why have I got this out? I was thinking there is a very fine line going through here. I think what I'm going to do is use this to go in here. Just add a little bit more definition to the tree. I'll do that off camera because I'm going to need to be up close and personal with that, but we'll get to see that later. Colors. For the house, I'll put that off to the side. I'll let you know what I'm going to do with that in a moment. For the house, I am wanting to come up with a burgundy color. I've done a little bit of research online to find out what colors will make burgundy. I'm going to be using the akai tsuki red from my candy and the bokuto brown. I'm going to be starting with the red and adding the brown just to try and get a burgundy color, because there's something else I want to make and I need to get the burgundy color figured out. Dark green for the tree. This tree may not be used, I just want to make it. And for the deer, we have copper and chestnut. And we're going to blend those two colors together in our resin to hopefully get a nice color. And the other thing I'm thinking of doing too, once the house is done, is potentially filling the windows and whatnot with UV resin. And just seeing how this all turns out at the end of the day. Anyway, that's that. Grit paste snowfall, that's what I've used to put the sparkle on the base of the tree and the star. We're going to be using that when we secure our tree to the base, so it looks like there's snow around it. And we will mix a little bit of white in with that. This, because it dries, as you can see, when I originally did that, like it's dried clear. And what you're really seeing is it's given it a texture for sure. And the glitter in there is just gold glitter that I put in it. Okay. A lot of talking. I need to stop now. I need to mix up my resin. And we'll do each section individually. I had thought of mixing all my resin up at once, but because I've got to mix colors in, I don't want to run the risk of my overall resin starting to heat up and then not pour as smoothly as I would like it to. So on that note, I'm going to go make up some resin and we will get going on pouring this and then waiting for it to cure and then carrying on from there. I have the color for my house mixed up. As I said, I'm working on making a burgundy color, and I used a big scoop. When I say big scoop, I'll show you the spoon I normally use. So I used this, I had a fair scoop of red on that, and then using the brown, I probably put in a quarter to a third of what I did of the red. And I've kind of got an interesting color. That's what it's looking like now. It's definitely not as red as it was. And the side of the cup, as I'm stirring it, you can definitely pick up the brown undertone in it. And we're really going to find out once this is set, you know, sort of what I end up with. And hopefully it'll be sort of the burgundy I'm looking for. Anyway, I did warm up my resin. I've got more air bubbles in this than I care to mention right now. I am going to spray my mold again. We know I hate doing that. However, because I've got quite a few air bubbles in that, I don't, around these spots, like I just don't want to deal with air bubbles. So we'll spritz it and hopefully, and we'll pour it in slowly. And then that way, if there are any air bubbles, hopefully I can get to them. So let's get this poured. Now, let's do it like this. I made up about 80 ml of resin. Something funny for you. I went grocery shopping and I picked up some Lindor chocolate. And I picked up a peppermint flavor. Had one. Shouldn't have. Peppermint and I, as much as it's helpful for stomach issues and whatnot, we do not get along. I get headaches from it. After I took it, I went, yeah, that was a mistake to have done. Okay, well done, Natalie. I could just feel my head going, why did you do that? Why did you do this? Well, because it seemed like the appropriate thing to do at the time. Too early in the day, and my brain's just going, you're nuts. They're very, very good. However, I just, yeah, no, shouldn't have done it. Should not have done it. So what are you thinking of this color? You thinking it's still too reddish looking, or can you kind of pick out the burgundy flare in it, if you will? And I'm hoping by pouring this relatively slowly that I'm not going to end up with a ton of air bubbles around things. That would be beautiful if I didn't. So I am curious, for those of you who are in places where you get snow, are you going to have a white Christmas? Is the weather forecasting that for you? For me it is, here in Ontario. We did lose quite a bit of our snow. We got a warm day about a week ago, and it took away most of our snow, which I didn't mind, and we've gotten some back. And it was snowing a little bit ago, so I'm just curious, are you expecting it to be a white Christmas, depending on where you are? Okay. this is sort of bubble free, etc. as I can. I'm kind of liking that color. It looks very rich. Do you get this focused when you're doing pieces like this? So like, there's so many, it's not just a straight, you can pour it in and, you know, not care. It's a, I got things to go around here. Not wanting to go over top, wanting to get just level with everything. Yeah, it's a pretty color. This is nice. I was sort of debating what color to make the house. I thought I don't want it red. And as I say, I'm trying to figure out what colors I need to mix together to get burgundy. I had one of the colors schemes they had talked about online was blue, yellow, and red, and I went, I don't kind of get that because blue and red make purple, and I wasn't really sure how the yellow was going to work out. And then they talked about brown. I thought, well, brown makes sense, right? Brown will tone down the red. Like that looks, that's very pretty. I'm glad I went with the red, the brown, I mean. We're not going to need all of this. So again, I'm going to have to write down how much I need. At least I don't have to make any more. That's a beautiful thing. Okay. I think we've got enough in here. I don't think we need to add any more. Lots of my bubbles are popping, so that's super duper. Let's see if we can figure out how much is left in here, so I can make note how much I need for the future. Let's see, I'll drip off in here. Oh, a little bit's not going to make a whole bunch of difference to my amount, is it? Okay, I got about 40 mil left in there, give or take. So 40 probably would have filled that up then. Good to know. So I'll make note of that. Give me my marker. So maybe to err on the side, I'll do 45 on that. Put that in a safe spot. Yeah, about 40 mils is what I've got left. Add any more to that or not? Well, I might add just a little bit more. Anyway, I'm going to take the rest of that and put it into something. And then I'll mix up my next color. And probably what I'll do is I'll just mix up my resins, I'll pour them, and then I'll bring you back so you can see the colors that we're working with. I have everything poured now. I got lost sort of in my measurements for the deer and the tree. I had numbers written down, but I'm kind of off on my measurements. I would make probably around, I'm thinking 30 to 40 mil for the deer. And I think probably out 20, 25 for the tree. The house I was completely off on, and 40 seemed to do it, which is kind of odd because it's the biggest piece in here. But it is what it is. A saying I absolutely hate, but hey, there you go. I use it every once in a while. I had a little bit of green left over, so I've just made a half a circle. The rest of the red I put into my very big tea light, which is going to take forever to fill up. Anyway, we're good to go now. Let this sit, let it cure up, come back, take these out, see how we can mix and match it with our blue tree that we've got, and hopefully give you some ideas on potential of having things that you've already created. How can you pull those pieces together? What do you maybe have to do to make things fit with it? I hope you're finding this helpful so far in some of the things I do to pull things together. So we are just going to cover this up, let it sit for its 24 hours, come back, take it out. We'll see maybe about doing some of the UV resin in the windows and door of this. Yeah, we'll kind of just see where we're at with all of that and how everything may or may not fit together. I will see you back here in moments, and me, it'll be 24 hours. See you then. Hey everyone, and welcome back. I'm just going to quickly plug in my camera. There we go. I've done my nails up for Christmas. Well, you can see those. It always takes me quite a while to do them. But we had an event on the weekend and I wanted my nails done, so I did them. All different, just because I can. So, our piece is done. I guess I should say that before I start ripping it out. I really like how this burgundy has turned out. It's not the red that it would have been had I not mixed in the brown. So I'm really pleased that I did that. It was really fun for me as it was setting. It was kind of like, that's a cool color. So let's get this out. Never easy when you've got long nails, that's for sure. I sometimes wonder, why are you doing that? It's fun. All right. And I'm thinking we're going to have to decorate this house up a little bit. And maybe do some UV resin in the windows. Oh, cool. Now I do have a couple of air bubbles here. Do I have any other ones? I have a little one up in here. Overall, I did pretty good. Now I hope that's, now I've got a really big mark on that. That is on the chimney side. I want to see if that's in my mold, and it is too. That mark's in my mold. That's unfortunate. I don't like when that happens. I'll have to see if I can clean that, or if it is right in the mold and I'm out of luck. Now I have found by putting UV resin on I can fix things like that. But that's, yeah, that's right on the piece. I don't think I'm going to get that out, but I do remember seeing a video of someone talking about, no, it wasn't a video. It was on one of the Facebook groups I'm part of, and they talked about using like a Windex or a glass cleaner to help get marks like fingerprints and whatnot off stuff. So I might have to give that a go. I thought that was really an interesting idea because I'd never heard of it before. So I thought, well, maybe that's something we try on this. If it's right in the mold, that's going to be, I think, a harder thing to deal with. And because it is so noticeable, I'm probably going to want to do something about that. Anyway, we can deal with that a little bit later. Here's one of our deer. Tiny little guy. I didn't get enough resin in this one. As I say, I struggled with the amounts for the deer. And yeah, I think I'd figured I was going to need 30 for the two of them. And I think when I make it up, I'm going to make up 40. Now, did I bend him a little out of shape? Yeah. But that's what our other deer looks like. Maybe it's supposed to be a mother and a baby one, just because of there's such a size difference in those two. I was thinking maybe male, female, but I'm looking at them and thinking, nope. Nope, 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 nope. All right, and there is our tree, which is actually kind of cute. Okay, let's get this off to the side. Now, I need to move this guy too. My huge tea light that is going to take forever and a day to fill up. Okay, so I haven't obviously attached my tree. I guess I could have done that, but I haven't. It was more I wanted to see how things would look. Now, I did pull out a set of twinkling lights because I thought if nothing else I could put these around the tree, the big one, the blue one, just because it's quite heavy, quite big. These are going to be way too much for that little green one. And I had wondered too about using it in conjunction with the house. So let's just get that off for a second. So now I'm going to be obsessed with that mark on that house. That's sad. Okay, so let's put this up like this. I'm wondering if the house, I love the house. I do love it, mark and all. But I'm just wondering, like the house, the tree, and the, I think it's going to have to go up here or something like that. Maybe too much or not. This may be too small. Like I don't have a problem with the big tree. Yeah, that's not going to stand on its own, so let me hold that down there. See, I'm surprised they made that because when you think about it against the house, it is quite a bit, well, it's bigger than the house, right? The small one makes a little more sense on this than the big one does. However, if we take the house out of the piece, we put the deer, it fits with the tree, I think, okay. I think I'd use that green tree somewhere else. Huh. Now, if we take the tree out altogether, I will end up, I know I'm going to end up putting this tree on here. I know I will. I just want to see if we do something like this. Shh, don't do that. It's just finding the right setting for things, just getting it. So, I'm very, you know this, I'm very particular. See, something like that might work. And then I just want to, I'll just turn these lights on. I just got to get this straightened out. It's going to be potentially very bright. Oh, darn it. Bear with me, folks. That's not how I want to do this. I need to get something to hold that. Oh, man. See, this is something I know. Oh, stop. Stop. Stay. My famous word is stay. And I want something to stay where I want it to stay. All right, let's turn this on. Okay, these are a pastel colored lights. They're not the red and green. Just wondering if I can just kind of... Now, just for a second. Yeah, I've got too many lights going on in here. Even turning that one off is not going to do much of anything. I think we could get away with having the house, the tree, and the reindeer on this piece by themselves. I don't think I can do my blue tree and the red house together. I think it's too much for this small little space here. I think it's too much. And I think even if I put the tree, if I were to put it at the very back of the house, normally, and I learned this is one of the few things I actually learned when it came to drawing, is that your bigger things at the front and then your smaller things go to the back, so it looks like you're looking into, like, out into the scene. So my tree really should be at the front, with everything else sort of move toward the back as things get smaller. I just want to see if I can move that. But if I put the tree at the front, and hopefully we're still in camera good, then you lose everything else, right? It's too much for this little, my pad needs to be bigger. My pad needs to be bigger. I like the idea of it. It's just, it's too small. Too small. So now it becomes a matter of, do I just attach my blue tree and then find some other things to go around it? And then do something else with the house. It is pretty. I mean, as much as there's a mark on it, I mean, it's pretty. That's really pretty. And I'm curious too, for the stand I have upstairs, so the other house I had done, I don't know if this would fit into the stand that I have upstairs. Because then maybe there's, I think, no, I could be mistaken, that there might have been a stand so that you could sort of do a design with these pieces. I'm so glad I didn't attach the tree, because it would have been unfortunate if I had attached a tree and then I couldn't play with it. So if we did something like this, I mean, that little tree is really too small for in here. It goes well with the deer, but it's too small. It looks out of place with my blue tree. We could do the deer. For sure, they could be part of the scene. I'm going to have to see about that, if that fits. Okay, I am going to step away for a moment. I'm going to go upstairs and get that stand and see if these guys will fit in it. I'll be right back. All right. Let me find my glasses. All right. Okay, I think these would fit in here. But this is these guys are a little too thick. And this was my thinner guy. Yeah, it's not going to fit in there. Yeah, these aren't going to fit in here at all. I kind of thought, well, that'd be interesting if they did, but they don't. They must make different sizes of this then, with the different slots in it. So, well, that idea fell apart, because I could have done that with them. I think what I would have to do is either do the tree with some presents around it and the deer. And I would have snow around the tree and then set the reindeer up. And do that kind of scene, or we would have to do this. In the tree. And I like the idea of putting UV resin here. Let's see if this will fit over here and not knock off things over. All right, take my hands away. I like the idea of putting UV resin in the windows and the door. I think that would really add to it. But it's a really pretty house. That's too bad that's got a mark on it. Too bad. Anyway. Okay, so we know this stand is not going to work for everything. We have to make a decision on what we would put on it. I think either way, and I would love to be able to tilt this for you. Maybe what I can do, though, if I lift that up, everything's just going to go squirrely. So let's just put this down. Bear with me as I'm going to end up losing you out of view. So let's just move this over here. Hopefully you can get a good idea of what it looks like. It's not a perfect view, I get that, but it gives you a sense of. Okay, so then let's take these two off. I'm going to wrap. I know these aren't the right colors for the tree. They're totally wrong, but just give me a second while I straighten this out. I'm not saying you can't have pastels on a tree. You certainly could. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, yeah, which reminds me. I'll show you in a second. Come here. See if I can do that again. I know it's not going to look perfect, but this wire, oof. I put the silver on, and I think it adds nicely to the tree. I can't handle flashing lights. All right. Okay, let's move this back a little bit. No. Really doesn't make a heck of a lot of difference, but the nice thing is you can see the lights through the tree, which is kind of cool. Okay, give me another second for dramatic effect. I don't know how well this is going to pick it up, mind you. Well, you can see, but anyway. There we go. So I like the idea of having lights around the tree. For sure. I do like that. And they give a bit of a glow to the reindeer, which is nice. So there you have it. Just let me turn my lights back on and we will have a quick discussion. And then... And then. All right. Lights all back on. Okay, so I've come to the conclusion that I can't put all of this stuff on this pad because it's not going to work. I really want my tree to be on here. I like the idea of putting lights around my tree. The reindeer, I think, work well with this piece because they're the right size. I don't think the green tree does because it's too different of a size from the blue one. The house and the tree the pad's too small for both of them. I would have to make something bigger. So what am I going to end up doing? Well, I'm going to end up putting my blue tree on here because that was really sort of what my intention was, the word go. I like the idea of having lights wrapped around this for sure. And I like the deer. So I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. Now, I'm not going to do that in this video because, well, we're almost to Christmas, people, and I know you've got lots to do. So once I have this done, I will post a picture of this on my Being Intentionally Creative Facebook page for you. Because really what I need to do now is to secure things to it. I don't think you need to see me glue things on, but I could be totally wrong on that one. I'm going to put you back up for a moment. Back up. All right. Okay. So I'm going to work on putting this together, and then I will post pictures of it on my Being Intentionally Creative Facebook page. I've got some other projects I have to get done, so I will work on fitting this into the mix. I don't know about anybody else, but usually what I do is I pick something up, I do what I need to, let it sit and do its thing before I carry on. Now, the interesting thing with this will be the fact that this tree can't stand on its own. I'm going to have to use either a 5-minute epoxy to get this glued down or a super glue, like Gorilla Super Glue, to get this down, so I don't have to sit with it for too long to get it set up. And then the reindeer, I'll be able to set them up. And what I might do with them, so my idea with them is, I'm just thinking and talking out loud, is to take some of the Grit Paste Snowfall, put it down, and then just set these guys into that so that it looks like there's snow around their feet. I think that'd be cool. I'll probably put them a little closer together. They do have eyes, so I might get one of my black markers and fill in the eyes, or do I have black? I think I have black crystals that I could put for their eyes, so that'll work. No idea what I'm going to do at the house and the other little tree. I definitely want snow around the blue tree. And then I'm going to see about taking my little squares that I have and making them into presents. I might actually have to make some resin up to make presents to put under this. And then I can show you what those look like. They're really easy to make. They really are. And then leave it like that, because I don't small like these guys that I can think of off the top of my head right now. Anyway, I won't make you sort of sit through the prolonged process of my thinking, but this video was sort of to give you some ideas on if you've got sort of random pieces sticking around and you don't know what to do with them. Here's a way of combining things together to create a nice visual for yourself, for someone else. It was really just an idea video to see how I could pull my blue tree into something, and I still really like the space. If I did them all, I've got to find something else that's bigger to put them in. Why I like this space so much is because of the edging on it. It's not just a round edging, which actually gives me an idea of something I could use. Anyway, I digress. I'm going off in another tangent for somewhere else for how something I could actually use that would incorporate all of it. But not in this video, people. Not in this video. Anyway, I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Whatever you get up to, I hope you have a lot of fun. I hope it's a joyful time of year for you that you can, and if it's not, I hope you can find something to appreciate, because there is so much out there in the world to appreciate. And I know I have days where I'm challenged by that, and I have to just go, you know what? The sun being up today, that works for me. Have a very Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for watching my videos, being a part of the world I started back, well, I guess it was January of last year, late January. Anyway, I'm looking forward to more videos and sharing more ideas with you, and any interesting techniques I either fall upon or I come up with by myself. It's always helpful when someone else does something and then you can expand on it. or just share it because other people haven't seen because they're not following specific people. Have a wonderful, I'm going to say it again, have a wonderful Christmas. Be creative in everything you do. Love what you do. Take care, and bye for now.